Oops. I did something. Sometimes we remove the door panel to wrap cars because you do need to remove the door panel in order to do the mirrors. So that's going to be a separate video. So this video is going to focus on just removing this door panel. So the first thing you want to do is, I'm going to talk about tools. So you do need a T25, which is what looks like this to start. You also need a 10 millimeter, and typically I like using a electric ratchet. And you need just a couple trim tools like this. So that's really all you need. And I'll kind of explain how this is held together. So there's actually 3 T25 screws that are held right here, and then one right here in the inside. So it's like kind of spread across like top right, middle, and then on the side. So I'll show you how to remove that. So let's just start off all the way here, like right underneath the button. Oh wait, it's in this angle. So I always lose track of the angle. All right, so once you remove that, notice my angle, I didn't go this way. That makes sense, it's supposed to be that way. But you're just gonna remove it. And one tip for this process is make sure all the screws are out, right? You wanna have it. I always put it inside right here. All right, so the next one is actually right here. You see that right there? This is a visible one. So I think we can show you. Let me just get in there without blocking your view. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that one. The last screw is actually hidden, okay? So when I say hidden, and I mean hidden, again, even for this one, just make sure you actually get the screw out. The last screw is right here. So the way to get that, you just use a trim tool like this, and you just pull it out, and then this comes out. What's really nice about this part is it actually tells you what's up. So I'm definitely gonna make a mistake if I didn't have that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that away. And you can see the hidden screw is visible now. Let's really get this out. All the way. It is about, I would say what, 1 inch long? Yeah, a little bit over 1 inch. All right, so those are all the 3 screws that you need. And just so I can explain to you, there's like a teeth. There's a little thing that goes on top of this ledge right here. You should never start from the top because like I said, there's a teeth that goes all the way across here. You really should start from the bottom. So this is an air pump wedge. I love using this for anything to do with clips and stuff. What it is it's pretty much air pump. Let's go ahead. All right, I think that's enough in there. It does slide out, so sometimes I kind of push it in like this. Ooh. It honestly sounds like things are breaking, but it's not, I swear. Okay. All right, so this is what you want, right? You get all the bottom, and the whole bottom is loose. And then you can kind of work your way here, work your way right here. There you go. That's pretty much it. So I can feel now, I told you there's a teeth up here, and I could essentially just go up and look at that. You got it all removed. You can see this white clip right here. It goes into this little holes right here, okay? You can see this was where that screw was. There was another one right here. And the other one goes into this angle, and this plate right here holds all of that in place. And in here, this is a sound dampening kind of automotive thing. And then underneath there is a bunch of stuff as well. All the harnesses are in between there, and then that's the light right here in the bottom. One difference is there is an actual additional sensor here. So if you notice on the newer ones, there's a red light that goes right here, a blind spot warning, right? So previously in the 2018, I actually told people to remove this. You actually don't need to. The main thing is when you put it back, you see this ledge right here, it needs to go on top into this metal area with the mirror, right? So if you're removing the mirror, no biggie, but if you aren't, just make sure that it slides right in. Like, it's not that hard. I feel like it's harder to put it back than removing it. I know it sounded like something broke when that first clip came out, but That's essentially how to remove the door panel. So often, look, this is still working. But oftentimes when people remove this, is to wrap the front, door and want to remove the mirror. So I want to show you how to remove some of these harnesses. So first off, this harness right here, you just pull back, and then you just have this button, and it comes out super easy. The next one actually is underneath right here, and it connects all the way through. And this is, look at this. Oftentimes, if you're unsure what you're doing, I always take a photo of what you're removing, right? So I've removed enough of this. So all it is you just push this up. So I can't see, but before you do, it actually goes kind of underneath this little ledge. And then after that, you'll have a little bit more leverage. And then you just go straight up and then inside. And then that is your handle. So now this will not work. I try to keep the windows down. It's just a lot easier to work with when you are removing the door panel. When the windows are higher up, it tightens this area, which makes it a little bit harder right here, where the door panel actually kind of rests on, right? But it makes it a little bit harder, so that's why I have the windows down. But let's just say, oh no, someone in my shop did this. I closed the door accidentally. Would this work still? Well, yes, it would still work. But now this window is up, and there's no way for me to bring it down. But it's okay. If you wanted to, you could connect it back and then have access to that. So no biggie. Since we removed it, of course, we're going to show you how to put it back. That is just as important. And I think for this one, it might be a little bit harder to put back than to actually remove, other than getting the clips off. But you can see this is all pretty much one piece all in one, which I really like. It's very, very awesome seeing and taking off these parts and seeing some of the advancements that they made in just a very, very short period of time. So these are seals. These do come out if you wanted to, I guess. Again, we're going to go ahead and install this back. So I got my door panel now. And let's go ahead and put this back together. Remember how it was actually constructed right here. So it actually went around here, right? So that's actually very important. And then it went around inside here. And what happened here, you go underneath it. And then first off, you want to okay. There you go. There you go. And then you can pull that a little bit, and then it goes in between this groove right here. And then you push it in and make sure that connector right here, this line, is underneath this little teeth. It's supposed to hold that side, right? So this is what it should look like. This is good now. Of course, we need to make the connection right here. That's it. And then make sure you push this red. And now I could actually move down the window. So before I push this back, I just want to make sure there were two connectors. This one, and then the door handle. I also want to test this. You heard that? That means it's working. Very happy with that. That's always want to test before you actually move forward. And then now we can start putting it back. So to put it back, I kind of use this little triangle as my alignment point, right? And then, like I said, I just want to show you this little teeth needs to go behind that, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back that down. And then let's just go ahead and try to do that. There you go. Did you see the difference? It's supposed to go behind this right here. Right, so that's exactly what we're trying to do. Whoops. I did something. But it's in. Okay, so be careful. All right, so this is what happened. This is actually not that big of a deal. But while I was pushing this, I think one of the clips, right, is pretty long and it's pretty flimsy. It it got caught on something and this thing broke. So it's not a big deal because I'll put out the part number, but if you look right here, this thing actually comes out. So I could actually take this out. This is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure I have an extra. So let me go check if I have an extra. I'll go to replace it real quick. I got another one that I had in my shop. So I know not everybody will have it, but if they did. All right, so you can see the culprit right here. So I just got a little close to that. So maybe it's easier if you remove, you know, this thing. Maybe it is. I don't know. Part of it is like you just want to improve our process, right? As we do more of this. So it just goes in between like that. Boom. Let's just see if we can make this work. And this time we'll be a lot more careful. I don't have another one, so don't mess it up. Okay, let me see. Typically these aren't hard to remove, so I just want to see how much, you know, we do this so you can learn as well. Oh, that's cool. So this used to be not like that. So it's literally just a sliding out and it goes right here. So I'm just going to leave this blank because that's been causing me a lot of issues in terms of, it's just hard to align it, right? While doing all of that. Okay, so there is this one, I'm just gonna warn you, and we try to warn people, there's a teeth that goes in like I showed you. When you do this, there is a clip that goes like that. Just be very careful, and when you remove this, you can actually clearly see if it aligns. Once you have this down, you can kind of see that it's fairly aligned well. This is my trick, right? So just make sure you kind of hit the top because the teeth needs to grab the whole thing. And then once you do that, you can see that everything starts to align. Right here is aligned. Right here is aligned. Do you see this right here? This is aligned. This side is perfect. Now, I'm gonna go to the other side. This is the part that is a little bit harder. I can't see, so you'll more so have to feel it. Okay. All right, so I'm good on this side. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it. Okay, I just need to check on this side. You can see these two are already in, and this third one's already in as well. So I'm good here. You hear that? Boom. Typically, just be careful with it. And you can see there was another clip right here. I don't know if you heard that. You wanna hear that sound. That means it's clipping. Oh, there, that's the sound that you wanna hear. So once that's done, we can go ahead and put this back. I wonder if it might be easier. Oh, this is so cool. This is somewhat new in terms of how this clip is done. And I'm just curious about how this works. So I want to remove this if I can. Oh, there you go. So I feel like this is a lot easier because it's hard for me to, if you look at this ledge right here, it needs to go in here. So it's hard for me to put this in while trying to leverage it, and then this needs to hook in. So a much easier path for this is to just, there you go. So this is a really cool new clip that I haven't seen much of, but basically it's this clips right here. But now I can just make sure that it is over here and boom. There you go. This is clear. There's two clips right there. I showed you guys how to remove it. All the clips, you heard it. You heard it for yourself. Now we just need to put it back in. Same thing with all these. I like to just hand tighten it first. Right, so you got one screw there. There's one screw right here. That is gonna be hard to see, so I'm gonna just try to, not trying to block it, but pretty much impossible to see on camera. But I swear there's one right here, And the angle is kind of interesting. It goes in, of course, towards the door. Okay, don't over tighten it. It just needs to be tightened. Low tension. Once you start feeling tension, that's it. Nothing more. Same thing here. And that's pretty much it, those three. And of course, you can't forget this. Don't forget it says up. Right there, you see that? Up. And then you just go from bottom and then push it. Right, I actually went from the bottom to remove it. So same thing, you start from the bottom and you just push it in. It's just a bunch of pressure clips right there. And just make sure your buttons all work. It does work. Everything is good. But that's how you remove the door panel. So if you were removing the mirror, or if you had some issue here, or you heard a rattle, those are some reasons why you may do that. But I can tell you, very, very big improvement. I feel like it's very, very similar in terms of removing it from the previous Model 3. But slightly, a lot of improvements in terms of, I think, rattles and sound dampening and just the construction of it. So hopefully this helps you guys do your do-yourself projects. We love doing this how-to video, so please click on that subscribe button. Happy, I guess, door panel removing, and we'll see you later.